Okay, we are back now. Let's start case number 54. Breaking news. And we just found out Louis LaRue is dead in his jail cell. Yep. This was where we left off on. We just had a call from the prison. LaRue has been murdered in his cell. What? Matthew, you need to get over to LaRue's cell at once. The same thing happened in the World Edition. Makes you think. There we go. It's been a long day for me because I had one class, I had 2 assignments that I had to finish, which I took care of. Then I had a local college basketball game, Hawaii versus UC Irvine, and unfortunately Irvine came out the winners in overtime, much to my biggest dismay. Oh gosh. Just the way LaRue's body is oh man, that's a tough one. Oh my god, what a mess, Matthew. LaRue's been blown to pieces. This is clearly the aftermath of an explosion of some kind. It looks like the killer didn't just want LaRue dead, they wanted him obliterated. I agree, Matthew, this looks like more than just a petty prison dispute. The place is totally destroyed. Only something highly explosive could have caused a blast like this. Oh, you found a bottle of nitroglycerin. That stuff is super volatile. Our killer must have used it to ignite the blast. There's something on the bottle. We should vacuum it. Senior Shipper Matthew, thank goodness you're here. I don't know how this could have happened. I heard an almighty bang, and then I found LaRue like this. Warden Banks, we'll need to speak to you at once. Take the bottle of nitroglycerin first, since I have the star already. Got it. Good job vacuuming up that powder from that bottle of nitroglycerin, Matthew. We know the bottle must have been handled by LaRue's killer. Let's hope sending that powder to Amir will clue us in on their identity. Okay, 3 hours. I'll see you guys when these are done, but first I'm gonna go get some stars, so sit tight everybody. Okay, I've got myself a fair amount of stars. Let's talk to Mallory Banks now. Warden Banks, can you explain how a massive explosion occurred in an inmate cell on your watch? The fire alarm went off earlier. We had to evacuate everyone and the cells were left open. I suppose the killer must have snuck into LaRue's cell and set up the explosive then, but I certainly didn't notice anything. And what can you tell us about Louis LaRue? How is he settling in? Fine, as far as I know. He hadn't been with us long, but he was a model prisoner. And do you have any ideas of his movements prior to his death? LaRue must have been returning to the cell he shared, number 4320, after taking his shower. Now please excuse me, Senior Trooper Matthew. I need to go explain this fiasco to the higher-ups. Did you hear that, Matthew? If LaRue had just come back from the showers, we should take a look around there. Got it. Why'd you pick up that pot of shaving cream, Matthew? Oh, right. Warden Banks mentioned that LaRue was in cell 4320. Recovering that name on the pot will tell us if it belonged to him or his cellmate. And if you think there might be a clue hiding in that laundry cart, let's take a look. Redfern, W. Redfern. Matthew, the name on that shaving cream is W. Redfern. Why does that ring a bell? That's right. Willie was one of Captain Shane Redfern's sons. He and his brother Jeb kidnapped Judge Powell after she sentenced their father to prison for murder. Clearly, this Willie was sharing a cell with LaRue. We'd better go speak to him. Mr. Redfern, we understand you shared a cell with Louis LaRue. Yeah, I just heard the news. Word spreads quickly in a place like this. Thank God it wasn't me in that cell when it blew up. You don't seem too upset by Mr. LaRue's demise, Mr. Redfern. What was your relationship with him like? The guy seemed like a bit of a wuss. He didn't even want to share my chewing tobacco because he said it'd stain his teeth. But I didn't have a problem with him, if that's what you're asking. He kept to himself, and that suited me just fine. Got it. Escape plan. What's that piece of paper you found in the laundry cart, Matthew? Wait, this looks like an escape plan. And look, someone wrote Louis and I on it. So LaRue was planning to break out with someone, and judging by the drawing, it's a woman. Matthew, we need to learn who LaRue was hoping to escape with. Can you compare that handwriting to our database? O'Brien. Matthew, that handwriting on LaRue's escape plan, it belongs to Polly O'Brien. We last saw Polly during our investigation into the murder of Rosetta's ex-mentor, Professor Charles. It turned out that Polly and 4 of her fellow college students were all part of a junior version of Ad Astra, put together to kill the professor. Since we now know that LaRue was part of Ad Astra, it's no surprise that he and Polly were in contact in prison. We better see what she has to say about him. Senior Trooper Matthew, you're here because of Lewis, aren't you? I wondered if something was wrong when he didn't show up for dinner. Yes, I'm afraid Mr. LaRue was murdered in his cell earlier. We know you and Mr. LaRue were in contact in here. We even found your escape plan. Did you really think you'd pull it off? You've always underestimated us, Senior Trooper Matthew, but Ad Astra is still a force to be reckoned with. We have plans, and they don't involve being stuck in here forever. Is that so? If things are going so well, how did Mr. LaRue end up blown to pieces? Why are you asking me? You're the cops. You figure it out. I'll see you guys when these 2 are done running their course. See y'all later. Okay, we've returned. Let's get the results of Louis LaRue's body. Must have a can of juice with me. Matthew, normally I feel some sympathy towards someone killed in such a brutal fashion, but I don't have any for LaRue, not with everything Ad Astra has done. Even so, the fact that someone murdered him in his prison cell is worrying. What can you tell us about how he died? Well, as you know, LaRue died as the result of an explosion. And I found something strange embedded in his body. Small shards of glass, which turned out to be from a broken light bulb. I knew I was onto something, so I called in Rita. Let's hear it, Rita. Well, since the shards embedded in LaRue's body came from a light bulb, it suggests that the bulb was most likely the source of the explosion. And there is a way to cause a powerful explosion with a light bulb. You file a hole in it, fill it with a flammable substance, tape it up, and wait for the intended victim to flip the light switch. So LaRue was killed by an exploding light bulb? Exactement. I even found a tiny piece of duct tape on one of the shards. Further evidence that the light bulb was tampered with. And the other conclusion that we can draw is that our killer must know some chemistry if they were able to fashion an explosive device out of a light bulb. So our killer knows chemistry, do they? It won't help them escape your clutches, Matthew. Amir, we've got reason to believe that the explosion in LaRue's cell was caused by nitroglycerin. But we're stumped as to how it got there. Did that substance from the bottle help? Well, I've analyzed the powder Matthew collected, and the primary ingredient was whey, a water-soluble milk protein used in protein shakes, which people commonly drink after working out to help build muscle. Right, prisoners often spend a lot of time exercising in the yard. And I guess your killer is no different. They must enjoy working out. So our killer works out. They can run from Matthew, but they can't hide. Matthew, for the longest time, we thought Louis LaRue was just a journalist with a professional interest in Ad Astra. But then we discovered he was their 5th and final member. The next thing we know, he's been blown to pieces in his prison cell. What are we supposed to make of that? Warren Banks said that LaRue was a model prisoner, while his cellmate Willie Redfern claimed not to have had any trouble with him either. Yet we know that LaRue was actively planning to break out of prison with Polly O'Brien. one of Rosetta's devotees from the university. Senior Trooper Matthew, I'm sorry to barge in, but I need your help. There's a riot in the prison yard. Oh boy. And I'll see you guys for Chapter 2. Do not go anywhere. Okay, we are back, and let's start Chapter 2 of Breaking News. Matthew, the mystery surrounding the Ad Astra conspiracy has reached new heights. LaRue was blown to pieces in his prison cell. But did he get on the wrong side of one of the inmates, or is his death tied to Ad Astra somehow? He was killed by an exploding light bulb full of nitroglycerin. It wouldn't be easy for someone to smuggle something so explosive into the prison. Did an inmate have outside help, or was he killed by someone who worked in the prison? Senior Trooper Matthew, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the rest of the prisoners have gotten wind of LaRue's murder. There's a riot happening in the prison yard. What? Matthew, we can't have prisoners trampling all over potential clues. We need to go calm them down. Keep us safe or let us out. Keep us safe or let us out. What's going on here? People are being blown up in their cells. We're all in danger and the warden doesn't care. We don't believe that anyone else is at risk. But we'll deploy extra officers inside the prison while we identify the culprit. Now everybody back to their cells. Thank you, Senior Trooper Matthew. I'll take it from here. And while you're here in the yard, you might want to take a look around. The prisoners come out here every day, and visitors pass through to enter the prison. Thanks for the tip, Warden. Matthew, let's take a look around this yard. Okay. Well, let's see what clues we get this time. Seconds. And it's now 11 p.m. on Thursday, January 24th, 2019. Matthew, Warden Banks told us that we might find some clues out here. Did you spot anything? You're right. Those broken pieces look like a badge of some kind. Can you put them back together? And I might have known you'd want to look at that trash can. Let's roll up our sleeves and dig in. Something tells me we're going to be in for a... Oh no, it's not. Had an outside thought that might have been Jones, but nope. Trudy Lively. Matthew, this access badge belongs to a woman called Trudy Lively. That name sounds familiar somehow. Oh right, Miss Lively is a lawyer we met while investigating a cold case back in Money Mile. According to her badge, she was authorized to visit LaRue in prison. She must have been representing him. Matthew, let's see if Miss Lively has anything useful to tell us about LaRue. Senior Shipper Matthew, this isn't a good time. One of my clients has just been murdered, and That's exactly why we're here, Miss Lively. We know you visited LaRue in prison. Were you his lawyer? Yes, he was referred to me by one of my other clients, Mr. Bateman. Wait, Bateman is also one of your clients? So it was you who got him out of prison after he murdered Mira Cat? Everyone is entitled to a lawyer, Senior Shipper Matthew. Now, do you have an actual question? Well, since you're being so helpful, did LaRue ever mention he was in danger from anyone either inside or outside of the prison? He wasn't happy about being incarcerated, naturally, but he never said that he felt unsafe. Anyway, that's all I can tell you. Now I must go. I have a deposition to file before tomorrow. Just got the 7 in time. It's a metal file. Matthew, how did that file end up in the trash? Something is written on the handle. Super strong. Cuts through glass. Wait, Rita said that our killer must have filed a hole in the light bulb in LaRue's cell in order to fill it with nitroglycerin. Matthew, this must be the file that they used. Our killer must have dropped it in the trash thinking you wouldn't find it. We better get this file to Amir at once. And this is 12 hours, and I'll see you guys when this is done. Do not go anywhere, folks. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the metal file from Amir. Amir, what have you got for us on that file Matthew found in the prison yard? Well, I can tell you that I found tiny shavings of light bulb glass on the abrasive part of the file, which confirms that your killer used this file to make a hole in the light bulb. They were then able to fill it with the nitroglycerin, which caused the explosion. But that's not all I found on the file. I also identified traces of sodium lauryl, isethionate, and stearic acid, two of the main ingredients of bar soap. And those ingredients were blended together using a unique process, which is only used by the Duck brand. Matthew, your killer must use Duck soap. So our killer uses Duck soap, do they? We won't let them slip out of Matthew's hands. And on that note, we should take another look around the prison bathroom again. Let's go. Got a little macaroni with me right now. Oh! Wasted that. The footboard might be a clue. Matthew, that paper has LaRue's name on it. Some of the drawing is faded though. Do you think you can recover it? And look at the name on the back of this watch. It belongs to LaRue. It's been damaged. Perhaps collecting some of that substance will shed some light on what happened to it. And well spotted. That box has Louis LaRue's initials on it. He sure likes to leave his things lying around. Do you think he can open it? And just a minute, guys. Okay, now I got myself 4 of the stars from the new crime scene. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Take care of this right now, anyway. LaRue, you betrayed me. Matthew, look at this drawing. The writing above it says, LaRue, you betrayed me. You're right. This looks like Polly O'Brien's handwriting. She's clearly the girl in the drawing, and that's LaRue, stabbing her in the back. So Polly felt betrayed by LaRue. Matthew, let's ask her why. Miss O'Brien, can you explain why you made this drawing of Mr. LaRue stabbing you in the back? Ha! I snuck into the guy's bathroom especially to tape that picture up. I had to let Louis know he was going down for what he did to me. Let me guess. Is it something to do with that escape plan you two had cooked up together? Yes. Louis made me do all the preparation. I studied chemistry to learn how to use my duck soap to start a fire, which would act as a diversion. And I worked out every day, so I'd be fit enough to run if someone saw us. But then Louis told me that he never intended to let me come with him. He said I was safer here. Louis used me, Senior Trooper Matthew. He was a snake, and I'm glad somebody killed him. It seems you had as good a motive as anyone to murder him, Miss O'Brien. We hope for your sake that you didn't. No, I'm not picking my nose at all, just kind of rubbing it a little bit. It's a little itchy. Five, 7, 7, 5, 5, 8, 7, 7, 5. 5. Got it. That's odd. What the heck, Matthew? Are those mushrooms in LaRue's box? There's a label inside the lid. It reads, for class 5438. So LaRue was taking part in some kind of class in prison. You're right. Perhaps Kathy can tell us more. Let's send her the box. Wow, it took me that long. Matthew, let's hope putting that substance under the microscope will tell us who damaged LaRue's watch. Got it. Chewing tobacco. So that substance on LaRue's watch was chewing tobacco, Matthew. You're right. LaRue's cellmate Willie Redfern mentioned that he chews tobacco when we spoke to him earlier. Willie told us he didn't have a problem with LaRue, but if he damaged LaRue's watch, then clearly he was lying. I agree, Matthew. Willie has some explaining to do. Mr. Redfern, you told us earlier that you got on just fine with LaRue, so why did you damage his watch? Alright, I lied. I didn't like the look of LaRue from the moment he arrived. I knew we were stuck together, so I made an effort to be friendly. I even showed him how to lift weights, so he could bulk up a bit. But LaRue turned out to be a total weirdo. He had these crazy moods. One minute he'd be all chummy, then the next, he'd give me the cold shoulder. The final straw was when I dropped my duck soap in the shower. I bent over to pick it up and caught LaRue looking at me funny. So I grabbed the watch he left lying on the side and I smashed it. We hope breaking LaRue's watch was all you did, Mr. Redfern, because if Senior Trooper Matthew learns that you killed him, you'll be spending the rest of your days in here. I'll get the remaining stars a little later. For now, I'll see y'all soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the box of mushrooms now. Kathy, can you shed any light on why the heck LaRue left that box of mushrooms in the bathroom? What did that class number refer to? Well, the prison system offers inmates a chance to study while they serve their sentence, because it reduces the likelihood of them reoffending. I looked up the class number on that box you sent me, and it turns out LaRue had recently signed up for a science class. I guess those mushrooms are some kind of homework. But that's not the point. Guess who teaches the class? Shweta Norani. You remember her. She's that dream life scientist you arrested for carrying out human experiments under the dome. So Shweta is teaching science in prison. She hardly seems like the most suitable candidate, given her track record. Matthew, considering Dr. Noorani's ties to Dream Life, surely LaRue showing up in her science class was no coincidence. We need to talk to her. Dr. Noorani, I must say we were surprised to learn they're letting you teach in here after everything you've done. I'm trying to make a fresh start in here, Senior Trooper Matthew. Deadly viruses, human experimentation, that's all in the past. If you say so. Anyway, what can you tell us about Louis LaRue? We know he was a student in your class. You must have met him while you were working under the dome. Actually, I never bumped into him while I was working for Dreamlight. The first time I met him was when he joined my science class. Surely you don't expect us to believe that LaRue that just happened to end up in your science class, Dr. Narani. What were the two of you plotting? Nothing. I was just teaching him and the others chemistry. I can't speak for LaRue though. He was always restless, like he has something up his sleeve. But I've turned a new page, so I've kept my distance. Though we did once have a lovely conversation in which he complimented me on my power walking sessions. How heartwarming. It's a good thing you can't go anywhere, Dr. Narani, because we'll be keeping an eye on you. Matthew, it can't be a coincidence that LaRue was blown to pieces before we could ask him about that message he tried to send. Could he have been killed in retaliation by Ad Astra, or was he murdered for something entirely different? His cellmate, Willie Redfern, claimed that LaRue's behavior was unpredictable. We also know that LaRue and Polly O'Brien were planning to escape from prison until LaRue decided to leave her behind for no apparent reason. LaRue was clearly panicking and making impulsive decisions, but who or what was he trying to run from? His lawyer, Trudy Lively, didn't have any idea. The only way we'll get to the bottom of any of this is by uncovering more leads. Then you're going to love this, Matthew. I just got an anonymous call from the prison. It was a tip-off. LaRue was seen having a heated argument in the prison yard just hours before he died. And we'll see you guys for Chapter 3. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we have returned. Let's start Chapter 3 of Breaking News. We last left off with this. So LaRue had an argument with someone. Matthew, we need to head to the prison yard and find out who it was. That was what we last left off on. Kathy giving us the lead. Okay, let's see. Locked CCTV. There we go, purple pieces. Matthew, if LaRue was involved in a confrontation, this CCTV camera might have caught it. Can you get it unlocked? And this whiteboard looks like it might be useful, if you can recover what was written on it. After this weird broken plastic, you better put it back together if you think it might be a clue. Matthew, one final push and we'll have LaRue's killer in cuffs in no time. I can feel it. And I'm going to take care of everything right now. This appears to be the daily timetable for inmates. And look, there's LaRue's name. Apparently his schedule was altered so he'd be out of his cell during an electrical safety check. So someone carried out an electrical safety check in LaRue's cell just before the murder. Could the light bulb have been tampered with then? You're right, Matthew. Warden Banks didn't mention this when we spoke to her earlier. Let's ask her why. Warden, why did you fail to mention that an electrical safety check had been carried out on LaRue's cell shortly before his murder? I forgot about it with all of the commotion earlier. But anyway, I carried out the check myself and nothing was amiss. So you didn't notice anything that indicated the light bulb had been tampered with? Look, Senior Trooper Matthew, I have an extremely stressful job. I barely find the time to work out or enjoy a long shower with my favorite Duck soap. But even though I'm overworked, I'm not an idiot. I got a degree in chemistry before I started working here. Do you really think I would have noticed if someone had tampered with the light bulb? I'm already catching enough flack for not noticing that someone had snuck nitroglycerin into the prison. I won't let you pin anything else on me. She's in the running now. Got it. Matthew, now that you've got that CCTV unlocked, let's hope it shows who LaRue had an argument with. We'd better get it to Kathy. Matthew, you might have put that thing back together, but I'm still not sure what it is. There's something written on it. You are the virus, LaRue. Right, this is a model of a virus, but who could have written that angry message to LaRue? Oh, good thinking. You first met Shweta back in India, where she caused a virus outbreak. Shweta failed to tell us that she'd argued with LaRue when we spoke to her earlier. Let's ask her why. Let's see what she has to say. Dr. Narani, can you explain why you gave this model to Louis LaRue, calling him a virus? Oh, you found that model from my science class. But there's not much to explain. LaRue was a virus. He ruined my life. What do you mean? Well, the truth is, him signing up for my science class wasn't the first time we crossed paths. LaRue's the one who first reported that I created a virus outbreak in India. My face is broadcast on TV screens across the world. Was broadcast on TV screens across the world. Nobody wanted to hire me after that. The only place that would touch me was Dreamlife, and look how that turned out. So you blame LaRue for derailing your career. Is that why you killed him? It's because of him that I'll spend the rest of my life in prison, where I have to fight just to get a bar of Duck soap for my shower. But I didn't kill him, Senior Trooper Matthew. I meant what I said earlier. I'm making a fresh start in here. We'll see about that. We'll let the security camera run its course. I'll see you when that is done. Okay, folks, we are back now. Let's get the results of the security camera. I'm a little bit behind because I had a basketball game last night. Hawaii versus UC Davis, and Hawaii came out the winner by 20. Kathy, did that CCTV footage show who LaRue had an argument with? It sure did. You're going to want to take a look at this, Matthew. Why are we discussing this again? Just do as I say, sweetheart. Louis, please, I could get disbarred. Only if they catch you, but if you disobey me, losing your job will be the least of your worries. You're unbelievable, LaRue. I wish I'd never gotten involved with you. What the heck, Matthew? Did we just see LaRue blackmailing his lawyer? He said that if she didn't do what he said, he'd ruin her life. You're right. We need to question Miss Lively about this at once, Matthew. Miss Lively, we need to talk to you about this footage of you and LaRue. Why was your client threatening you? I suppose now that he's dead, there's no harm in telling you. Besides, it's not like I did anything wrong. LaRue wanted me to forge a court order to get him out of prison as quickly as possible. I told him to just be patient, to let me do it the proper way. After all, I got Bateman out, didn't I? But LaRue said he couldn't wait. He threatened to have someone go after my family if I didn't do as he wanted. So LaRue pressured you to choose between your job or your family. You must be relieved that he's dead. What are you suggesting, Senior Trooper Matthew? That I blew him up in his cell? Clearly you haven't been listening. I wouldn't commit forgery, and I certainly wouldn't commit murder. Matthew, it turns out that LaRue was so desperate to get out of prison, he tried to blackmail his lawyer into forging a release order. This supports what we thought. LaRue knew he was in danger, but from what? We know that Warden Banks carried out an electrical safety check on LaRue's cell just before the explosion. But there's also Shweta Noorani, who considered LaRue responsible for ruining her career and her ending up in prison. Matthew, we need to keep investigating. Returning to the scene of the crime should give us some fresh clues. Okay, let's see. Pile of burned things. Got it. Look, Matthew, there's something written on this paper. It says, exploding light bulb. You're right, this clearly has something to do with how LaRue's light bulb blew up. Our killer must have left the paper here. You need to collect some of those fibers on it, quick. And searching through that pile of LaRue's belongings might give us a clue. You're right. We're closer than ever to figuring out who killed LaRue, Matthew. I can feel it. Matthew, you managed to collect some of those beige fibers from that paper. And we were right. It revealed our killer's instructions for making the exploding light bulb. Matthew, our killers sealed their fate when they left this here. We better send those fibers to Amir quick. I will be speeding these up because I am a little bit behind, even though I do have until Thursday, until the next case opens up likely. Got it. Duct tape. Matthew, why do you think that duct tape in LaRue's stuff is suspicious? Ah, right. Rita told us that the killer must have taped up the light bulb after filling it with nitroglycerin. That duct tape must be what they used to do it. Let's get it to Amir. I'll get the remaining stars, and I'll see you when I finish that. So I'll see y'all soon. Well, I did say I would be speeding things up, so I'm going to do that just now. And this. I'm going to get the duct tape first. We're on the home stretch here, Amir. What can you tell us about that duct tape the killer handled? There were a small number of skin cells on the tape, not enough to establish a DNA profile, but enough for me to examine the collagen levels in the cells. Collagen naturally starts to break down with age, you see. And I can tell you that these particular skin cells belong to someone over the age of 40. And since LaRue was only 33, the skin cells must be from the killer. You're looking for somebody over 40. So our killer is older than 40. Clearly older doesn't always mean wiser, Matthew. Amir, tell us you got something on the fibers Matthew collected from the killer's blueprint. Well, the fibers are made of a cotton and polyester mix, which is designed for maximum durability and is often used in uniforms. So I compared it to the fabric used in the lining of prison jumpsuits, and it was a match. There's no doubt about it, Matthew. Your killer must be wearing a prison uniform. So our killer is sporting a prison jumpsuit, eh? At least they won't need to get changed after their trial. Okay, so it's not the warden. Matthew, this is it. You collected all the evidence, and now it's time to arrest Louis LaRue's killer. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is definitely not the warden. Well, wait a minute. There's a prison jumpsuit. That's a prison uniform. Okay. It's not Willie Redfern. It's not Polly O'Brien. It's not Trudy Lively. Well, that just leaves Shweta Noorani. So we're going to arrest her again. Dr. Noorani, you're under arrest for the murder of Louis LaRue. You must have made a mistake, Senior Trooper Matthew. I didn't kill anyone. Then why do we find traces of your duck soap on the file you used to make a hole in LaRue's light bulb? Come now, Senior Trooper Matthew. Duck soap is a hot commodity in here. Everybody uses it. We also found your bottle of nitroglycerin. You left your protein powder on it after working out. All of the inmates work out. It's one of the few things we're allowed to do in here.
Give it up, Dr. Narani. We also found your DNA on the duct tape you used to seal up LaRue's light bulb after you filled it with nitroglycerin. How did you even get your hands on that nitroglycerin? Did Ad Astra smuggle it in so you could kill LaRue? Ha! You thought Ad Astra wanted to kill LaRue? How naive of you, Senior Trooper Matthew. Someone more powerful than Ad Astra wanted Lewis dead, and it was on their orders that I killed him. Someone more powerful than Ad Astra? Are you trying to bluff your way out of this? Senior Trooper Matthew, did you really think those 5 clowns are your nemesis? They're just small cogs in a big machine. The real leader is someone else. Someone who has now realized that the Ad Astrans have outlived their usefulness. LaRue was the most troublesome, so he had to go first. But don't worry about the other Ad Astrans, Senior Trooper Matthew. They'll all be taken care of, one by one. Are you serious, Dr. Narani? There was someone behind Ad Astra all along? And now they've turned against them? Who is this person then? Who instructed you to kill LaRue? Don't expect me to tell you that, Senior Trooper Matthew. Let's just say a valued old friend I couldn't refuse. Well, you can't refuse facing justice for killing LaRue. You're under arrest. Dr. Narani, you're already serving a custodial sentence, yet you're clearly far from reformed since you killed Louis LaRue. I see here that you refuse to name the person who ordered you to kill Mr. LaRue, other than to say it was a valued friend. Do you have anything more to say? Nothing, Your Honor. I'm guilty of the murder. Very well. This court hereby sentences you to 30 years in prison for the murder of Louis LaRue, in addition to your original sentence. So be it. I've served my purpose. Matthew, I don't know what to make of all this. Shweta Narani murdered LaRue, but it turns out that it wasn't on Ad Astra's orders. It was on behalf of someone else entirely. Apparently, there's been another player in the game all along. Someone even more powerful than Ad Astra. Dr. Narani committed the murder on this person's orders, but she refused to identify them, other than to say it was a valued friend. Matthew, those words sound familiar. Do you remember Felix Murray, who caused the blackout? He claimed to have done it for a valued friend he couldn't refuse. So that means the blackout must have been ordered by the same person, Ad Astra's leader turned enemy. This person could have been working against Ad Astra for quite some time then. Which ties in with what Dr. Narani said, that they're all going to die. Matthew, the situation is more complex than we thought. We now have 2 enemies to fight, not 1. And Matthew, thank God you're here. There's an emergency. Ooh. We'll see you guys for To the Star 6-6. Okay, we are back. Let's start To the Star 6-6, the last one in this district. Matthew, we'd only just unmasked the Ad Astra conspiracy as a whole by identifying the last member, Louis LaRue. And then his murder revealed that there was someone else operating above the group all along. Dr. Narani refused to name this person, but claimed that they plan to eliminate all the Ad Astrans now that they've outlived their usefulness. It could be that LaRue was aware of the threat. Perhaps his blacked out message was a warning to the others. But who is this arch enemy who's turned against the Ad Astrans? And what about Rosetta Pierre and Julia Brine? They're in solitary confinement in the same prison where LaRue was murdered. Are they in danger in there? Matthew, we've just had a message from Warden Banks. There's been a prison break at Grimsboro State Penitentiary. Warden Banks has requested our urgent assistance. A prison break? Matthew, Gloria, we need to go see Warden Banks at once. Warden Banks, what's going on? Chief Parker, Senior Trooper Matthew, this is a disaster. Rosetta Pierre and Julia Brine, they're gone. Rosetta and Julia? How could they have escaped? All I know is that they had help. Christian Bateman stormed in with someone who looked a lot like the mayor. But before I could react, one of them pushed me to the floor and knocked me out cold. Even our guards couldn't contain them. I don't know how this could have happened. You better get that head injury checked out, Warden. Senior Trooper Matthew and Officer Hayes will get on the fugitive's trail at once. Thank you, Senior Trooper Matthew. And here, take this money for your help. Matthew, this is an Ad Astra scheme if I ever saw one. We need to act, and quickly. Polly told us earlier that she and LaRue had plotted to escape together. We should ask her if she knows where the others might have gone. Good idea, Matthew. Good idea. Matthew, take Gloria and go question Polly. I'll wait for you in the prison yard. If the mayor and Bateman came in that way, we need to take a look around. What now, Senior Trooper Matthew? Haven't you heard? Rosetta Pierre and Julia Bryan have escaped with the help of Christian Bateman and Mayor Warren. What? They escaped? I bet Lewis planned to escape with them too. He had a better plan all along. That's why he betrayed me. Then get your revenge by telling us where they might have gone. I have no idea, but Lewis might have been in on the plan, so you might find something in his cell. That would have been our next stop anyway. Matthew, hopefully searching LaRue's cell will prove more useful than leading us to Ad Astra. Oh, and take this before you go check out Lewis's cell. It's not like I need it anymore. Okay. There it is, cigarette pack. Matthew, did you find anything which might tell us something about the Ad Astrans prison break? You think that cigarette pack might be a clue? LaRue didn't smoke. Oh, but you're right. It looks like something was written on the pack. You'd better recover it, Matthew. There we are. Matthew, there was something written on that cigarette pack. It says, when plan succeeds, and those look like some kind of coordinates. When plan succeeds. Matthew, there's a good chance that these coordinates have something to do with Ad Astra's breakout. Someone must have used the cigarette pack to pass the information on to LaRue. We need to get it to Kathy quick. There we go. Matthew, I don't think you'll find Rosetta and Julia hiding in that storage cabinet somehow. Perhaps I stand corrected. We need to get that storage cabinet unlocked at once. NM8. S2. 6N2. Matthew, we heard strange noises from that storage cabinet. Now that you've unlocked it, we better check if our fugitives are hiding in there. Nope. Willie Redfern. Matthew, this isn't Ad Astra. It's Mr. Redfern. Mr. Redfern, what are you doing in there? Are you alright? Senior Trooper Matthew Bateman. Matthew, Mr. Redfern needs medical help. And if he saw Bateman, we need to ask him about it. Let's hope Martine can help him. Six hours. I'm gonna let this run its course, and maybe I'll speed this up a little later. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Okay, we're back. Let's see if we can help Willie Redfern now. Martine, how is Mr. Redfern doing? Do we know what happened to him? I can't tell you how he ended up in that storage cabinet. All I can say is that he's lucky you found him, Matthew. Mr. Redfern was suffering from severe hypothermia, but I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't find any trace of a liquid nitrogen having been used on him, nor of him having been trapped in a freezer. It's like his cells just spontaneously froze. All we know is that he mumbled Bateman's name when we first found him. If he got in the way of Ad Astra's prison break, we need to ask him about it. Mr. Redfern's well enough for you to talk to him, Matthew, but he's still weak, so make it quick. And let's talk to Mr. Redfern. Hopefully he's doing okay. Mr. Redfern, we're glad to hear you're feeling better. Are you well enough to explain how you ended up in that storage cabinet, half frozen? You think I'm crazy if I'll tell you, Senior Trooper. You'll think I'm crazy if I tell you, Senior Trooper Matthew. Does it have something to do with Bateman? You said his name before you collapsed. He attacked me. He froze me with his bare hands. Bateman froze you? But how? I don't know. I saw Mr. Bateman running through the prison yard. I recognized his face from an article about vineyards. The mayor was running behind him, both yelling like crazy. And when I tried to stop them, Mr. Bateman reached out to touch me and ice came shooting out of his fingers. Next thing I know, I'm locked up in that cabinet, freezing. I know it sounds insane, but I swear it's true. Well, Mr. Redfern, we'd better leave you to rest now. Senior Trooper Matthew will take it from here. Matthew, I don't think Mr. Redfern is lying to us, but how could Bateman freeze him with his bare hands? Wait, you think it could have something to do with the superhuman serum? We know that the serum is capable of giving people strange abilities, but could it also give someone the power to freeze things? Matthew, we need to regroup and contemplate our next step. We'd better have a snack too. We're going to need all the energy we can get. Okay, we'll go ahead and speed up the coordinates. chilly night outside. Kathy, did those coordinates on LaRue's cigarette pack give you a lead on where the Ad Astras might be hiding? They certainly did. Those coordinates lead to a cave in the forest. So the mayor and Bateman might have taken Rosetta and Julia to that cave after breaking them out? It makes sense. It's secluded enough for them not to be disturbed, and easily defended if they are. Matthew, we need to consider our options before we make our next move. Matthew, discovering that there's someone operating above Ad Astra was worrying enough. But now the remaining 4 Ad Astrans have gone on the run together. Worse still, it appears that Bateman has developed the power to freeze people. And we can only assume it's because he's taken some of that superhuman serum. If Bateman has powers, we can assume that the other Ad Astrans might too. We suspect that they're hiding out in that cave in the forest due to the coordinates we found on LaRue's cigarette pack. But you can't just waltz in there unprepared. You need protection so that Bateman can't freeze you to death. I might be able to help, Matthew. I've had an idea for a heat shield which will be impervious to Bateman's powers. I just need some of those riot shields they use in the prison. Good idea. Matthew, take Gloria and head to the prison yard to find some riot shields Amir can use. Quick! Of course, I did change to the cat. I do not plan to advance any further in terms of my scoring. But why did I do a times 6? Just because I wanted to. Well, there's one. Matthew, this looks a lot like a riot shield, but it's been smashed to pieces. We need to put that shield back together, quick. Got it. That riot shield looks as good as new, Matthew. I've got to be honest, I don't like the thought of having just a sheet of metal between us and a bunch of Ad Astras with superpowers. But Amir seems confident he can transform it into a special heat shield. Let's get it to him. This is also 9 hours, and I will get the results tomorrow and let Amir do his thing. So do not go anywhere, folks. We're going after Ad Astra. Okay, we have returned. Let's see if Amir's got confidence up for this riot shield. Amir, did you manage to transform that shield into something which will protect us from Bateman's power to freeze things? Yes, I've coated the riot shields with a special chemical. So if Bateman attacks you, the shields will instantly melt the ice. Great! We're going to need all the help we can get if we're to catch the 4 Ad Astrans on the run. Yes, going up against Ad Astra is risky business, especially since we don't know how many of them have superpowers. There's safety in numbers, so Rita will go with you and Gloria as backup. I'm ready, Chief. Matthew, it's time for you to go capture Bateman and the others. You and Gloria had better go get changed. Good luck, and don't take any unnecessary risks. Let's capture Christian Bateman. Ad Astrans, come out. We know you're in here. You know you can't run from us. You must surrender. Just stay out of our business, Senior Trooper Matthew, for your own sake. You don't know what you're dealing with. No way. You're all going to jail now where you belong. Uh-oh. We knew you might need some convincing to leave us alone, so we got these little hostages here to show you we mean business. Carter, Jake! Yes, these poor dears. Don't you want to save them? Soon they'll be far away. I guess you're going to have to find them instead of coming after us. No, let them go now. Don't think for a moment that you can stop us. Oh. Matthew, our shields and our guns, they just floated away. We can do a lot worse than make your shields float away, and even that is nothing next to the mayhem which is to come. We're not your problem anymore, Senior Trooper Matthew. You have a far bigger enemy to fear, and that's an enemy we have in common. Now leave us alone. Matthew, Gloria, are you okay? No, Oh my god, Ad Astra, they have Carter and Jake! Yeah, Julia Bryan subdued them with her superpower before Rosetta knocked us out. And the mayor, he just waved our guns and shields away like they were nothing. Matthew, what are they going to do to my boy? Why did they take him? We'll get them back, Gloria, I swear. But first, we need to regroup back at the office. Matthew, thank goodness you're okay. Yes, but we barely made it out of there. We were no match for the Ad Astrans. The mayor levitated our guns and shields away, and Rosetta knocked us out. And Julia Bryan produced some kind of poison gas to subdue Carter and Jake so she could kidnap them. So what you're saying is that all of the Ad Astrans have different superpowers. That means they must be practically unstoppable. And they've got my boy. Carter must be so scared, Matthew. It's all my fault. I assumed he'd be safe at home with his dad, but instead Ad Astra went after both of them. Don't blame yourself, Gloria. We'll do everything in our power to get Jake and Carter back. The Ad Astra said that the kidnapping was a distraction. Their exact words were, "You'll have to find them instead of coming after us." So the kidnapping was designed to throw us off their trail. Well, their distraction is working. I don't care where Ad Astra have gone. I just want to find Jake and Carter. And we will, Rita. And we will. Rita, did the Ad Astra say anything else which might be useful? They didn't say much, but they did confirm that the person who ordered LaRue's murder intends to kill them all. They're running scared. And what's more, Rosetta said that this enemy of theirs is going to be our problem too. Could this just be another diversion tactic? We do know that somebody is operating above Ad Astra behind the scenes. Matthew, Chief, I've got a lead on Carter and Jake. A CCTV camera picked them up. Ad Astra's taken them to the Newmark District. Jake and Carter are in the Newmark District. Then there's not a moment to lose, Matthew. Let's go. I have a feeling that might be Gloria's husband. This will be a big blow to Gloria. It'll be January 31st. That is another Thursday. Another 5 new ones. Didn't get a lot of repeats. But hopefully we'll rescue Carter and Jake. Although I don't have a good feeling about the victim of the next case. I do hope I'm wrong, though. Just finished the airport district. So we have 6 more cases to go, and this will be the final district. So folks, you're not going to want to miss these final 6 cases. We'll see you all soon.